PeopleZoom and the works is the now fix for struggling Americans. Beware the advice others give, as they will likely have no sufficient knowledge of PeopleZoom and the works. They will likely be unaware how PeopleZoom's the works is a triple win for you, enabling you to essentially hire yourself, conforms to the best economic advice, start a business, and since the job of selling is uniquely done by PeopleZoom, it is as if you are hiring PeopleZoom, the company itself, to work for you. Necessary to understand is how buying the works is a mere fraction of the cost of your going to and from a conventional job. To judge and advise fairly, it will be necessary to understand how, by your performing random acts of kindness, a component of our offset progressive marketing, helps enable PeopleZoom to generate the sales performance required to pay you on the side up to $2,000 a month. Now, as PeopleZoom does not make any statements or claims that are not documented, here are 12 opinions from qualified individuals and sources that completely missed the mark. Now, ironically, the successes of more than one pursuit on this list have probably bettered your life. There is no chance the iPhone is going to get any significant market share. No chance. Steve Ballmer, Microsoft CEO. A rocket will never be able to leave the Earth's atmosphere per the New York Times. There is practically no chance communications space satellites will be used to provide better telephone, telegraph, television, or radio services inside the United States. Federal Communications Commissioner T. Craven. It will be gone by June. Variety magazine commenting on rock and roll that was in 1955. The photocopier has no market large enough to justify its production. IBM executives to the eventual founders of Xerox. There will never be a bigger plane built, said a Boeing engineer after the first flight of the Boeing 247, a twin-engine plane that held 10 people. Heavier than air flying machines are impossible, Lord Kelvin, British mathematician and physicist. The wireless music box, radio, has no imaginable commercial value. Who would pay for a message sent to no one in particular? Advocates of David Sarnoff advised when they asked about investing in radio. If excessive smoking plays a role in lung cancer, it seems to be a minor one. W.C. Huper, National Cancer Institute. There is no reason for any individual to have a computer in his home, said Ken Olson, president of Digital Equipment Corporation, addressing in Boston the World Future Society. I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers, said Thomas Watson, chairman of IBM. Television won't last because people will soon get tired of staring at a plywood box every night. Daryl Zanuck, 20th Century Fox movie producer. The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty, a fad, said the president of Michigan Savings Bank, advising Henry Ford's lawyer not to invest in the Ford Motor Company. Everyone acquainted with the subject, Edison's light bulb, will recognize it as a conspicuous failure, said Henry Morton, president of the Stevens Institute of Technology. When the Paris exhibition closes, the electric light will close with it, and no more will be heard of it, said Oxford professor Erasmus Wilson. X-rays will prove to be a hoax, said Lord Kelvin, president of the Royal Society. Reagan does not have the presidential look, said a United Artists executive, thereby rejecting him as the leading man in the movie The Best Man. This telephone invention has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. The device is inherently of no value to us, said a Western Union internal memo, as they turned down all rights to the telephone for $100,000. The telephone, hardly more than a toy, a novelty. The Americans have need of a telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys, said Sir William Preece, chief engineer, British Post Office. We don't like their sound, and guitar music is on the way out, said Decca Recording Company in declining to sign the Beatles. There is not the slightest indication that nuclear energy will ever be obtainable, said Albert Einstein. See PeopleZoom's other videos, The Naked Truth, Faith, Failures, and remember, Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Get PeopleZooms the works by using our easiest address, www.pplzm.us. It's the immediate job solution and the long-term answer for struggling Americans, all made possible by giving, or what the public calls random acts of kindness. All rights reserved.